show for the Radiation Kings tonight.
This was the Radiation Kings show that I wanted since I was like a 15-year-old.
There is a lot of ska in there.
Well, yeah, I'm a little nervous about playing. Not, you know, and I don't really get that nervous with playing anymore.
I haven't sang in front of anyone for like 6 years.
I hope people come. I don't want this to be like tour.
Did you ever think that we were going to play again?
No. No.
I mean, obviously, we haven't been together, so we haven't been recording or writing new material.
I'm really surprised that we can, you know, not really even talk to each other a whole lot for 6 years and come back and still play.
I went on tour 7 years ago with the Radiation Kings to make the documentary tour, and here we are 7 years later, and they're having a reunion show after breaking up immediately after that tour. I'm not quite sure why they did it.
What sparked it? Why did you start?
As far as I know, and this is second and third hand, I think what happened was Jeff IM'd on the computer Brandon.
He does this solo acoustic thing called the festival, right?
The festival is like very folky and like lyrical and whatever.
I said to him, hey, do you want to play at the Virgin City party?
As a joke, I was like, you mean the Radiation Kings? Ha ha. And he was like,
yeah, sure. And he said, oh, all right.
So then I just started contacting everybody.
Why are you guys doing this now?
Because they called me up and asked me to do it, and I said sure. I thought it'd be fun, and it is.
So what have you been doing in the last 7 years? This is the quickie one.
Okay. For the last 7 years, should that be a quickie?
Right now, I am a 7th grade science teacher at the middle school out in Long Island.
I practice law full time, doing general practice litigation.
I got my first kind of real job in MTV.
I'm in Brooklyn College, trying to finish my bachelor degree, which I started about 10 years ago in film studies.
I work in special education.
I'm going to SUNY Purchase, and I've started a band called The Festival. The festival is a big thing going on for me right now, and that's about it.
Why did I go on that tour? At the time, it seemed like a fun thing to do, as opposed to, I guess, I was just sitting around in Long Island as like a teenager bored out of my fucking skull.
I went on tour because it seemed like at the time, you know, I hadn't been doing really much anything.
For me, it was right at the end of college. I just graduated. What else are you gonna do? Some people travel, some go to, you know, do a graduate school thing or whatever, and I said, I got nothing planned, really. I mean, I had law school, but it would be there later, and I said, all right, screw it, let's just go.
I was in the opportunity to, which I never was before because I was always working full time.
Trying to do anything and everything that I could get out of the way of my youth. And it was just fun.
It was also something I always wanted to do, too, you know, I mean, it's really rare that people get to have fun with their friends and go cross country or go south.
Ideally, that's the thing you do when you join a band and you're with some kind of label, that you can go support your record.
I was really fortunate to do something lots of musicians want to do and could never do.
At the time, it was fun, and even while we were doing it, yeah, we had our issues here and there, but you know, I'm glad that I do it.
Not even on a business level, the experience of being on the road with a bunch of your best friends, it seemed just like an obvious thing to do.
When was the last show that you saw the Radiation Kings play?
I don't know, before you guys went on tour and broke up, before everyone started bickering like little children.
You think that's why we broke up? Was because we bickered?
You bickered like little children all the time.
And then after the tour, you guys broke up.
Well, no, it wasn't. I mean, we never sat down and said we're breaking up.
There was no decision about it at all. It just sort of like it gradually faded away.
I would say probably most bands that go on tour break up the first time.
I just got involved in other projects and was doing other stuff, and I think everyone started getting involved in other bands and other projects.
I ended up doing music with somebody else in Philadelphia, which was great, but it kind of showed me that I really don't want to do music the rest of my life, I guess. Not the tour, but what I did after tour.
I didn't really care because I just started going to college and I was like not even thinking about it. I was like,
going out on tour was a really heavy dose of reality for everybody. As long as we stayed in New York, they could think they were rock stars. And you know, going out on the road and seeing what it's really like and the reality of it, I think it was, you know, they were disillusioned.
I didn't really miss playing shows in front of no one.
The bands that I know that have been successful on, you know, a do-it-yourself indie level like this, they go out there and they stay out there, you know? They live on the road for a couple, 3, 4, 5 years before something really starts to gel for them, you know? And I don't think that was really, you know, a possibility, or, you know, I don't think that was what everybody really was thinking.
I think if we had kept doing the Radiation Kings for the last like 5 years, I don't think any of us would be as successful at other things as we are right now. I think that it would have been a lot easier for us to stay with kind of dead-end jobs, because we would have kept doing the music, and instead we found other things and jobs that we like doing in the same way that we like doing the band.
Again, I remember saying it a long time ago, it's not my vocation. I wasn't put here to do music as a full-time career kind of thing. However, with that being said, music has always been this part of my life, this #1 hobby, it's a love of mine that I will never give up, and whether or not I become, you know, 30 years old, 40, 50, 60 years old, as long as, you know, the opportunity presents itself in my free time, then that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do the music.
You want one more? If you want one more, then you're going to gotta make a hell of a lot more noise than that.
It definitely put a lot of other stuff in perspective, because it was like really inspiring as far as like what your standards should be as an artist.
Working at Rough House was, you went to the studio at, you know, 10 or 11 in the morning, and you were there till 3 or 4 in the morning the following day, and you were there with your producer and you were songwriting and all that stuff, which is great, but it wasn't what I wanted to do at all. I like being in a band. I like being with people that I could work with and I get along with and I have a good vibe with. Otherwise, it's fucking boring.
I walk into a classroom every day of young minds. I'm in charge of 140 12-year-old minds every single day. And without the experience of being on the road, I couldn't do what I do right now.
There hasn't been a lot of moments like that since then. Just being with the people you love and working with them, you know.
Thanks a lot. Stay tuned for King Django. He's coming up next. Thank you.